What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new video, and today we got some major news out of the great state of South Carolina. Guys, it's official. What we've heard rumblings, bumblings, and all that stuff about for the past couple of months or so is true. South Carolina Senator Tim Scott has just filed paperwork with the FEC to run for president of the United States. Yep, it's official. Tim Scott is running. Now, let me be clear. I made a video on this, a month ago, right? But that's when he formed an exploratory committee, which there is a big difference between an exploratory committee and actually running. So, yes, we expected him to run since last month, but now it's official. He is, in fact, in the race for 2024. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter accounts in the description down below. Guys, go follow Real American Politics on Twitter. That is a great Twitter account that I recommend everybody follows. Of course, follow the Rumble page for exclusive content, and of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $3 a month, wrong graphic there, just for $3 a month, you can join Real American, which is a phenomenal deal, as it helps support the daily content we all know and love. You love the daily content? Well, this is the best way to support it. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Alright, everybody. So like I said, we made a video on this last month, with the title of Tim Scott is running for president. But that wasn't official. This is an official announcement, or not even an announcement, just he filed the paperwork needed to run for president. And it's official. Republican Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina has filed the run for president in 2024, according to the FEC, the Federal Election Commission, which, it was a matter of when he's going to do it, because he's been in the exploratory phase, which, let's be real, that was when he launched his campaign, but now it's official. It's like the Ron DeSantis stuff. Whatever. Point is, it is official, and the filing comes ahead of a formal announcement that is expected to take place Monday in the state of South Carolina. We will be going live for that, so I gotta make sure to figure out what time he is doing the announcement at, but we will have a live stream reacting to this announcement because it is pretty significant. This isn't like a Ramaswamy type announcing. This is a Perry Johnson. This is an Ass Hutchinson. This is Tim Scott from a very critical early state in the 24 primary. Scott, the only black Republican in the Senate, launched a presidential exploratory committee in April, emphasizing his evangelical faith, his race, and his experience growing up as a son of a single mother. So, the first one is going to help him in Iowa. This is what he's banking on, which I don't know why that he thinks he can win when the polling's looking like this. I mean, you're polling out 1%, dude. I know Ramaswamy's been going up, but he's a unique candidate. He brings something different to the table. Now, let me be clear. Tim Scott is not, he's likable. He sucks on issues, but he is a more likable guy. And he is focusing on his evangelical faith, but he's going to run on his race also. This is my problem that I have with many Republicans. Stop bringing up race. It doesn't help anybody. It just continues this theory that, America is secretly a racist country and Just stop it. It doesn't gain any voters with Democrats. It doesn't. And his experience growing up as a son of a single mother, which again, yes, that's good. I'm fine with people running on their, childhood. Like, hey, I grew up in a blue-collar family and, I only had a single mother. Whatever. Which is fine. And I do think Republicans have a problem when it comes to messaging with a working class voter. They just do. Usually they don't have the same background as some blue collar guy. And maybe him having a single mother may give him that background, but my problem is his Senate record's a disaster. It is absolutely a clown show. Yes, he has some good things here and there, but the vast majority, including criminal justice stuff, that's his problem. If it wasn't for the criminal justice stuff, he would be fine. He would be a fine senator, maybe a C tier senator. He's probably like a low C, maybe a high D tier senator. And it's not because of his race. I know people are going to say, oh my God, you're saying this because he's a black or whatever. That's stupid. I want the guy from North Carolina, Mark Robinson, a big black dude, to win the governorship. It's not because of his race. I'm getting sick of Republicans on Twitter attacking people for, calling them racist for going against Tim Scott. Yes, there's some people that legitimately are, but that's like 0.1%. The vast majority of us that do criticize Tim Scott, it's legitimate. His stuff with criminal justice let off a lot of thugs that should still be in jail. Yes, it helped some people that did get screwed over, but it also let out a lot of people that should still be in prison. The senator joins a growing GOP primary field taking on President Biden that already includes former President Trump, former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, former Governor As Hutchinson, tech entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy, and talk host Larry Elder. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is expected to file paperwork declaring his much-anticipated candidacy next week. And again, this is a thing about, Governor DeSantis, since we're talking about him. The one thing Scott has over a lot of these other clowns, and I mentioned this earlier, is he is slightly more likable than, say, Ron DeSantis, or he has more charisma at least. I mean, with DeSantis, he doesn't. Yes, he's good on issues. Don't get me wrong, he's great on certain policy. But the problem with DeSantis, his charisma is terrible. At least with Scott, it's halfway decent. He is more, I guess you could say you could like him a bit more personally. But here or there, that's my point. Like, DeSantis is obviously significantly better than Scott. I'm just saying that this is going to be a thing that Scott does have over somebody like Nikki Haley. He does slightly have some charisma. Scott has been testing the presidential waters for months. Since setting off in February on a listening tour focused on faith in America, he's made frequent visits to several early voting states, including Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina. And this is big. His entire campaign strategy, from everything I've heard, is don't get crushed in Iowa and pray that you're from South Carolina and you do good because of it. That's what he's banking on, because he is focusing heavy on faith, which I like. Don't get me wrong. I'm not against it. He is running on, we need to bring back God in America, we kneel only to the Lord, etc. He is saying good stuff when it comes to that front. And that's why he's focusing on Iowa a lot. Because Iowa does have a larger evangelical population within the presidential or the Republican base. In South Carolina, somewhat, but he does bank on the fact he is a senator from the state. He's won by quite a bit in the state for the past couple of years. That's his strategy. New Hampshire, he's going to do awful. Same thing in Nevada. But Iowa and South Carolina, if he has some miracle in store, it's going to be from those two states. Scott, who easily won re-election last year by 26 points, reported last month that he nearly had $22 million in his Senate campaign account, which he could use for a presidential bid. And this is a big problem that I have with Washington. The fact that he raised $22 million for his Senate campaign, reminder, this is for his Senate campaign. Now he can magically use it for a presidential race? First of all, a lot of that money I guaranteed got laundered. Like, oh, this is totally for a Senate race, not for a presidential campaign next month. That's my problem with campaign finance. You shouldn't be allowed to use all $22 million in a presidential race. That's unfair to the Joe Blow that may not have the funding like Scott, who has $22 million right off the bat from a different campaign account. He is launching a $6 million ad buy in Iowa and New Hampshire, one of the largest single ad buys in 24 so far. According to a senior campaign official, the initial $5.5 million TV ad buy include broadcast, cable, satellite, and radio, will air statewide starting Wednesday and run through the first GOP debate in August. Over the same period, Scott will also launch a 7-figure digital ad campaign. So I originally thought he was going to be, there just to screw over DeSantis, but I think he may actually be trying to take out Trump to a lesser extent. Maybe running against Trump. Oh my gosh. I seriously thought this was just some ploy to somehow get the VP slot. You won't be spending this much just to try to maybe take out DeSantis in favor of Trump. I think Scott seriously thinks he can take out Trump, which is beyond delusional. Look at his polling. 1%, 1%, 1%. What's his highest national poll? 4%? Yeah, in the past year. It's 4% poll. 1. The rest is 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. And you can keep going. Where does he pull higher than maybe 5%? I can't find any. So I do not get why Tim Scott seriously thinks he can take on Donald Trump head on. Like this, Ron DeSantis, he has, it's stupid for him to run. At least he's pulling double digits, and he will start with some support. Scott starts with nothing, and he's not going to be like a Ramaswamy type, because Ramaswamy brought something unique to the table, which was focusing on getting rid of affirmative action, get rid of the government corruption. He's focusing on a unique niche. What is Tim Scott going to run on? Maybe God? Which, that's not a bad thing. It's just, my thing is, that's going to help you in Iowa, but it's not going to help you so much in New Hampshire or Nevada, somewhat in South Carolina, but I don't know. I really do not understand why Tim Scott is running. Originally, I seriously thought he made a deal with Trump that if he ran and took some votes away from DeSantis, he was going to, possibly get a VP slot. Now, I think he's running a serious campaign. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.